Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Touch the card. Touch it. Ah, okay, I'm sorry. Happy Wednesday. But, okay, that's enough of that. I know I did that last week, but I didn't totally show, like, the speed of how fast that little dog can go. It's not very fast, but it's still entertaining to me. So, how you been? How you been? Happy Wednesday, or what's left of it. Well, morning-wise anyway. I have one more hour until the noon enters the horizon. And so, as you can see here, progress has been slowly, excruciatingly slowly been made. I think last year, if there was not as much going on, I mean, I would have gone through these cards oh so fast. But I haven't even finished this since last year, and I just found this out like maybe last week. And I was, oh, right, I had this. I was still working on this last year. It's a dog that I knew in China. Cute little chicken nugget. And then these other ones, I did these on the plane. This I just did last night. Yeah, I had more work for myself. I don't know why I do the things that I do, but here we are. Hi. So I know I put Black Myth Wukong as the as the tag, but it's in drawing, not actual gameplay, not actual tips and tricks. I tricked you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I know. But it's coming along pretty okay. Just I'm having trouble with this girl's eyes. I think they're supposed to be glowing, and I'm not very good at it, but let's try. Let's try a bit, see what happens here. I think if this is pretty good and turns out well, I can actually do a larger painting of her. And even this giant booger with hair over here. Because I found pictures of the actual model of him, like who they based him off of him as. I was like, okay, yeah, that's definitely him, modern time version. And it's so weird seeing the actual. For some reason, I'm not that interested in the women. They're all great looking. But yeah, I've seen it before. But this, I don't know. I don't want to say things of who he reminds me of that I know. I'll keep it quiet. But yeah, I might draw him. Also, I still like the derpiness that I did the first attempt, so I might do more of that, but make it like extra derpy. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Not this time around, because I gotta catch up on this stuff. And oh god, there's water. What I don't like about painting sometimes, extra water gets stuck in my brush, and then when I start painting, bloop, extra water just messes up my work. But if you can catch it on time, it's not that big of a deal. And please excuse this. What the hell? Yeah, I should take it out and put it in those tint. I keep calling it tint. Those paint palettes. The problem is they don't get used. They still end up being wasted. But it's like no matter where I put it, I'm not going to use all of it because I always got stuff to do. It's annoying, but it is what it is. So I think I have to try to make the eyes a little bigger. I don't mind the narrowness, actually, but based off the reference, which is okay to use, they're a little bigger. And yeah, see, now it looks like she has glaucoma. So her glaucoma is leaking onto her mascara. Oh my gosh. Yikes. Okay. So how's your 2025 going so far? It's too early to say. It's only been a few days, and I just feel like there's always something going on. Always something, from the weather to the upcoming inauguration to, people keep saying, why are the groceries so expensive? And then there's like, oh, there's a meaning as to why that is a thing, and I'm all like, well, it's not going to make it go any lower. So unless you got some kind of solution for it, besides just not buying anything and not eating and probably relying on photosynthesis and cigarettes, I don't think anything's going to work. So, oh my God. So anyway, there's a tiny bit of white. It's not teeth. It's just like lip reflections, I guess. Oh God, who's calling? Unavailable. Okay. When they say unavailable, I don't have to get up. So it's fine. It's fine. Oh, she actually has some dark undertones, like kind of a warm gray undertone. And I'm like, ugh, I don't feel like getting that stuff. So I gotta whiten things up again. So yeah, this is the kind of low-key dilemma I have. I'm not very good at coloring. And if you're gonna school me on how to color things, I'm not gonna listen because it's like, what's the point of learning and improving if you're not gonna listen? I don't have that kind of time. And I can, especially lately, there's just been stuff going behind the scenes. I don't want to disclose, but it's been quite hectic because of said things. It's family related. Yeah, it is. It's that stuff again. But at the same time, it's like I haven't even played Black Myth Wukong. I do have chances to do it, but then I have to like look for paperwork. I had to clean up things in the process. I had to clean more things later today because I got to take care of things tomorrow. I was like, oh gosh, when do I actually get to play? I don't know. See, that's the thing. Why I can never truly be a true gamer, if that is such a thing. I got stuff to do, And by the time I get down to play, it's like, didn't I beat this game like 2 times already? I'm tired. So I still have to get to that part where I have to get that bat before I go to before I finish chapter 3's boss, that yellow brow bathrobe guy. I have to time it apparently so I can actually buy that super everlasting whatever forever gourd. I don't know what it's called. There's a Chinese word for it, but I'm like the forever gourd. I might as well use that. But yeah, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do more stuff. Because if you miss one thing, that is like, and it relies on time, like you're not supposed to kill a boss, but you killed the boss and you came back to try to get the thing. And then that feature is missing. You gotta play the game all over again. I'm like, oh man. I know I'm complaining about it, but it's like when you miss a thing and you didn't know, it's annoying. It's like I have to buy the game again. You start whining and crying. What else is new? So yeah, that's my Black Myth Wukong news. I haven't been able to play because I had to take care of some family things. And what's going on here? Where are their hearts? I don't know that feature. Oh, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I'm a dinosaur. So what was I going to talk about? There was like how you go online and then you see reels or you see TikToks. I don't see TikToks, but I'm assuming there are TikToks for such things. But like recently you did. Who's that? Okay. All right. When was that? So okay. Good for you. Nice. Hopefully it's nothing weird. Anyway, I have been noticing like content for certain ages. I mean, yeah, that's a given. There's content for teenagers, preteens, kids, old people, 20 somethings, 30 somethings, 40, 50 somethings. There's always something for everyone online. However, as you get older, and I am encroaching in the older territory, despite how I sound, and one in particular is 40-year-old content. Do you really want to guess my age? Have at it. For those who already know me and know my age, you get out of here. You don't count. Oh, thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it. Nah, I wish. No, I don't wish being 21. Ugh. I don't even remember that far back. That's how old I am. But yeah, 21 was a long time ago. But the thing is, 40 something year old content. I only know this well because it shows up in my feed a lot, whether I like it or not. And then if I watch longer on Instagram, they show me more, even if I don't like it, even if I don't share it. If I watch way longer or more than once, especially, they keep showing up more. And then the more I see, the more I'm like, well, that's not something worth looking forward to, even if that is inevitable. My real name. I don't like disclosing that too much, sir or ma'am. I just like to keep it as Delion. Delion is fine. Dell is fine. We have it at that. But yeah, the 40-year-old content. I end up just skipping away after a while. There's some I can relate to. It's not like, oh, I hate it, and I just run off and do things. And there's some that are funny, some that are true, like, yeah, that's totally true. I get that. But then there's others where it's only about your back breaking after, like, even at 30, they still think, oh, you're a dinosaur after 30. It's like, who told you that? Like, how are you? You're going to turn 30 also, right? Where am I from? I'm from the U.S. Judging from the sound, how I talk, yeah, that's how I am. From the U.S. And so when people say things about 40-something-year-olds, what I notice is how you don't give a crap after 40. To some degree, that is true, but it really depends on the situation. Like they mentioned, oh, I just wake up in my pajamas and I go to Walmart and no one gives a shit. And I'm like, yeah, because it's Walmart. No one gives a crap at Walmart. I've been there in the morning. No one gives a crap. Try doing that in a posh country club. You're going to care. You're going to care so hard. Go do that in like like a high-end nightclub in Las Vegas. They're going to care. So it's okay to care about your appearance too. It depends on the situation. You got to care at some point. You don't want to show up in a ratty bathrobe, hair curlers, and you're unkempt and you haven't bathed in 2 weeks and you show up somewhere high end. Of course not. I assume that's you're not going to think that far unless you absolutely have no fucks to give. And then, okay, by all means, just expect people to call security on you. Oh my God. Or they say, I think they need an intervention. So, yeah, the thing is, it's okay to care, but do it sparingly. I think what they mean is they don't care about other people's opinions. Are you sure about that? It like I said, it depends on the situation. It's okay to care, but when it comes to like unnecessary things like brands, certain shows, movies, social media, and you don't like to care, that I understand. That's totally fine. But things like having to dress appropriately, bathing for the sake of hygiene, I think you need to care, because once you start smelling funky and or you're, oh my God, also the pooping in public. I don't know if that's a 40-year-old thing, but I keep seeing that a lot lately. Like, what's going on here? I mean, they have adult diapers, you don't, or yeah, I get sometimes like some places here where I'm at, there's no access to bathrooms, or they're like really, 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 you'd rather go in the bushes. That's how bad some of the bathrooms here can be. But if you know your place enough and you can locate really nice bathrooms, then it's a godsend, because sometimes, especially here, the bathrooms are not so fun. And then you run out of toilet paper. And then that's a whole other ballpark. You like, oh man, you don't need that. But yeah, what else have I seen about 40-year-old content? They make it their identity. I don't like that. It's like, we get it, you're that age. That's not how you, but then because it gives them more attention from not just other 40-year-olds, but like other outsider new people who happen to be 40-year-olds, or, they can relate to the joke to some degree, 30-year-olds. They make it their identity. It's clickable, it's clickbait, it's attractive. So they garner more likes, views, subscribers, etc. Who the heck's calling me? Oh, I don't know this. I don't know. If I don't know your number, I'm not going to talk to you. So, what is that? What other jokes? I'm trying to remember. Dating. They talk about dating at 40. There's a lot of crying. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's like, I didn't realize there's so much of it. Not just for women, also men. So I don't just watch women content. I also watch men. And then they also talk about, there's a lot talks about divorce and the divorce rates, and it's expensive to, the groceries are expensive. It's hard to find a job. It's hard to make friends. It's hard to maintain friendships, and having to cut out of toxic relationships after finding, withstanding it for X amount of years, decades. And then you're like, I'm not dealing with this. Finally, in your mid 40s, you decide to cut off that toxic friend. I was like, oh, okay. And so when you see this content overall, especially as a young person, it really sends negative connotations about aging. And so there's a lot of younger people crying, not wanting to turn 30, not wanting, like by the time you're 30, you don't have your crap together. It's just, balls. It's just shit hits the fan. You're screwed. Your life's over. Like, what the hell? But that's not how that goes. I used to think 21 was old. I used to think 18 was old. That's how stupid young people think sometimes. That's why I'm like, if you're mature, I don't believe you. Just because you like music from the 70s and 80s, and you're like 12 going on 38, that doesn't make you mature, okay? And so I'm not really interested in content of the 40-somethings age too much. Not all the time. There are some funny things I get. I get it. But then when it's just their identity to be 40-something, and it's a lot of negative things, and it gets draining, it gets tiring, it gets depressing, and I don't need to look at that too long. Especially when the algorithm keeps feeding you the same ass content. It's like, stop giving me that. You also do have the option to say not interested. That helps for a time. Still, some sneaks in, but then otherwise, yeah. Who's calling? Leave me alone. Unavailable. Okay. Whenever they say unavailable, like I said, I don't have to get the heck up. Okay. So, Arlong Shun. I need to fix. I don't like the line art for here, but then this one I tried the ballpoint pen. I think I may resort to ballpoint pen just because it gives me finer lines, even though this one's a little bit too thick. I do have thinner ones somewhere, but the micron-ish pens, the actual and the generic brands, when I draw on acrylic paint, they start getting broken. So, or I draw too hard, I don't know, but it does not work too well on acrylic paint surfaces. Apparently, I held on for like about 2 years of drawing on acrylic paint, and I messed up a lot of pens, so I don't recommend. But ballpoint pen seems pretty good so far. But if you really want it dark, you could probably add some like micro pen accents or some kind. Okay, so see, and I gotta wait for things to dry. It's kind of irritating. Oh, this one technically has some blue, so it's okay. I'm not wrong. I don't think I can go on talking about 40-year-old content, even though I'm kind of bored of it. Yeah, and I had 40-year-olds as siblings too, so it's not like, oh, how do you relate and all that stuff. Yeah, and I'm getting there, if not already. Do you want to know? No, I'm just kidding. I like the air of mystery and not having to say all the things that I have to say just because it's funny. So next week, I'm also debating whether or not I still do the live stream at the same time, or I make it early, or I push it, because sometime around next week is my birthday. And so I'm like, and I don't know, a while ago I heard about people who have a birthday month, like they celebrate the entire month because it's their birthday. And I was like, it's day. You don't say birth month, it's birthday. You weren't born in a span of a month. You were born in one day, okay? Make it make sense. But some people do that because they want to and have the money. Probably. That's the other thing, probably. Or they just go into debt. So anyway, yeah, I'm still debating whether or not I do something next week, because it's like almost every week is busy. It's like pain in the butt. But I'm still thinking. It's it'll just be me going out somewhere. I'll probably have like lunch, do like some light shopping, then go back to pick up my kid. That's basically it. Not like, oh, I'm gonna have a lavish vacation and a spa treatment and a mani pedicure, whatever. And then, no, I'm just gonna go out shopping, buy things, look at things by myself, which, to be honest, is a freaking treat for me. I'm always around people, be it like at least one person and at most 4 or 5 other people. And so I'm tired. I'm always around people and I'm always having to help others. And helping is good, but when you're helping too much, you get tired. It's okay to admit that. I feel like sometimes in certain cultures, we have to swallow up whatever discomforts we have to help others, and then we don't take care of ourselves. Please don't do that to yourself. If you are in pain, if you are sick, and you have some means to rest when you can, friggin' rest, okay? Take care of yourself. If you can't take care of others if you can't take care of yourself, all right? You can't look for love in other people if you can't find love in yourself. It's very similar to a degree. Please take care of yourself before you start spreading whatever's going on in your head and in your body to other people, all right? I feel like we need like a review. We're back in class now. Oh God, don't remind me. So, right, now I gotta let some of this crap dry. And this one, yes. Yeah, I tried to do the ink on here with Atashin Chi. Yeah, this is like a little short anime. It's really cute. I like it. And they have English subtitles, so I can watch a bunch of it, but they have a whole bunch that are not translated yet. But they have a handful of English sub Atashin Chi. Atashin Chi. Okay, yeah. It basically translates to like my home, my family. Yeah. And so it's about this family, like they're called the Tachibanas. There's Okasan, the mom, Otosan, the dad, and then the children, Yuzu and Mikan. Mikan's the older child, Yuzu is the younger child. And they just have like everyday slice of life, daily living, but she in particular is she's very outgoing, but also has some issues with trying to take care of a family while on a tight budget. And she loves bargain shopping, and sales, and hangs out with her friends when she can. And she's very kind and considerate, but she can also be kind of blunt and too outgoing for some of her family, whereas the rest of her family can be a bit more reserved and quiet. But I think the one who resembles her more is her daughter, Mikan, her oldest daughter. Her oldest daughter of the 2 children, and they kind of clash between each other because their personalities are very similar. Whereas the younger son, Yuzu, or Yuzuhiko, he is a lot more reserved, has certain mannerisms that he keeps to himself. He's the smart child, and then the dad, he's like the salary man who goes off to work, and you don't hear from him too much, and he doesn't talk a lot, but he does have some moments where he's also very cute and charming and all that stuff. They're all very cute and charming in their own way, but they can also be kind of annoying to a degree. But I do like that they show different sides of the characters, not just focus only on one character. Like that's kind of like the trope here in Western media sometimes, especially in the US, where they focus more on one character. And then the rest of the characters are like almost background fodder, unless you're like the wingman, the side character, the comedy relief, and then background fodder. I wish they did more of character developments. I think they've gotten there, but now it's more like woke propaganda crap. And I'm like, oh my God, this again. And that's why I feel like we're not really doing well in mainstream media. There's always this agenda. There's always like a freaking lecture or lesson we have to learn. And I'm like, ugh. I don't like being lectured in the form of entertainment, okay? I already know these things. Maybe you should direct this to people who actually need to know this lesson. They're not going to listen, let's just face it. But yeah, it's I like this show. It's a little short. Like their episodes are like they run between 7 minutes to 9 minutes, give or take. But they're very entertaining and they're very cute. I like them a lot. I mean, a really cool friend introduced me to them, and then I watched some, and then I got distracted, and then I started watching it again, like as of 2025. And I was like binge watching a whole bunch. I was like, oh, this is kind of cute and funny. And so I'm trying to make cards of them. And they're pretty simple characters. And I think I mentioned before, I have trouble drawing simple characters rather than the detailed stuff like these guys. While I do struggle, especially like this cornball here, I still have an easier time overall compared to simplified standard characters like Krusty the Clown, Okasan from Atashinchi. Like for like characters, I used to draw Steven Universe characters a little bit before they got annoying. And so, yeah, those simplified characters, I struggle a lot. It's so weird. You think, oh, this should be like crumbs and potatoes for you. No, I wish. I think because there's a certain standard and like they have like a specific measurements and size and characteristics of the characters to make them look like the character. And if you do something wrong, it kind of throws off the entire balance. I guess that's the best way I could put it. It's weird. It's very weird. And so I really don't think I can do well drawing simplified characters. I tried. Also, it bores me. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just, especially if it's like part of your career where you have to draw simplified characters all the time, I would get bored. So for those who can do it, man, top props to you. I don't know how you can do it, but yeah, I'm a weak baby. I don't have the patience. I have patience in other departments, just not here. You would think I would, but I don't. Yet this kind of stuff, like Venom and Sam Keith stuff, things I am like so enthralled and just so interested in. That's a whole other ballpark. It is a lot of work, but when you figure things out where everything gets placed, for me anyway, it just starts going into place and being a lot more easier from there, and it actually looks like the thing. So I don't know what's up with my brain sometimes. You would think the difficult stuff would be difficult, the easy stuff would be easy, but my brain just goes the opposite directions for some weird ass reason. And it's not like a humble brag or anything, or I can do things better. No, that's just how my brain works. I don't know why that is. Speaking of which, I need to work on that Venom painting too. Should I just post it as is? But I'm worried one of the lighting thing, not features, one of the light things in the foreground, it looks like a wiener. A wiener and balls. So I have to like, okay, I need to fix that and then cram in some detail. I'm sorry, I'm looking at it right now and I'm like trying to figure out, okay, I need to fix that thing that looks like a wiener and then try to add in a little bit more detail, and then I should be done because I want that dang thing done and over with and I could legit post it properly, because I've only posted it either as a work in progress, a reel, or a live stream content, because and then things happen to my crew. I think Chris me, why can't I talk today? I swear on Wednesdays, for some reason, I think because live streaming makes me nervous. And then weird words come out of my mouth, and English is my first language, all right? So, jeez. Anyway, Christmas threw me for a loop. There was just so much going on. I did also watch a video about how Amazon has been increasing prices and has just been it's slowly becoming, I don't know, it already has been becoming like notorious for not having quality services and quality goods. And it's just a train wreck half the time. I did make a comment on one of them mentioning, well, the only problems I have is I started listing the problems. And then as I finished the list I made, I was like, oh, that's actually a lot of problems. I was like 4 or 5. I was like, it's only those. And I was like, wait, that's a lot. Well, and I guess, and then I came to the realization, like, maybe I should just wean off Amazon and just settle for things like I cannot find in actual stores, or they're surprisingly cheaper in Amazon until the sales tax and the shipping comes in. And yeah. We'll see. So, okay, where are the eyes? Where did I put the eyes? Oh, no. Okay, I know there's an eyebrow here. That'd be messed up. That's all I have. That's her eye up there. No, that's her eyebrow. Okay, so I don't have a list today. I was chatting with a cool friend earlier about ideas for art things and what we were inspired from and just exchanging. I like that kind of stuff. That's so cool. I rarely have such conversations in real life. So to hear from other people or other artists that want to share and exchange ideas with me, that's just one of the coolest things ever. It's probably a favorite pastime of mine, even if it's online involved, just because I don't really talk to a lot of people in person. Only like family, relatives, doctor's appointments, customer service, maybe the bus driver. That's the social interactions I got, man. And then otherwise, like, oh, what about friends? Like, no. If I had to explain it in not technical terms, but like how it is, basically a lot of high schoolers and college classmates that I had, they were already having kids, let's just say. And so by the time I had my own kid, I was in my 30s, right? Their kids are already like in middle school / pushing into high school. And, they're in there, been there, done that mentality. And I really don't like being around such people. Like, can you just tell me how to do things properly and not having to include been there, done that? I've heard that so many times. Drive me insane. What else? And then I also was in a part, not intentionally, but it just turned out that way. Like another group of friends were like anti-relationships, anti-boyfriends, anti-marriage, anti-children. And it wasn't super, super obvious. It just was, it was subtle at first, especially when they start posting online about, I'm never gonna have kids, and then this is why I hate kids. And they call awful names to these children, like crotch goblins or the spawn of the devil. And I'm like, you used to be a child at some point, right? Why are people acting like they came out of the womb a fully grown adult? My God, if that was the case, if that were the case, I'd never want to have kids, okay? A freaking full-fledged adult came out of my tummy, came out of the nether regions. Oh my God. I don't want. Okay, see, this is why I don't like talking sometimes. I have weird what if scenarios, and then I just have a laugh and then carry on with my life, okay? So anyway, while I understand to some degree why some kids can be irritating, it's not all of their fault. And it depends on the situation. We have to look at the parents, you have to look at their environment, what's going on at school. There's all these factors to not just blame the kid. It's all kids' fault, all the parents' fault. There's so many things we don't know and understand. That's why, well, I'm saying that because I'm a parent too. So but I try my best not to be like those other ones, okay? I'm trying. But there's always a judgmental thing, no matter where you go. And then they don't choose to acknowledge there's more to the story than what's been told. So it's quite rough out there. And I think also why some people don't want to have kids is you're going to get judged the moment that kid pops out of you. No matter what you do. They will give you unsolicited advice. They will poke at your belly, whether you don't want them to touch your belly. They will flat out call you're pregnant, sometimes in another language. I had that on my work hours when I used to work. There's all these things, and that's just the pregnancy part. When the kid comes out, and then some people like they just start giving you advice and you didn't even ask for it. And then you also don't know whether to be rude or not. But then if you are rude, they get super sent. Like, I was just trying to help. I'm just being considerate of your. No, I'm like, shut up. Do you do this to your own family? And the thing is, probably. So, yeah. While I think it's kind of messed up that people just, get super, like they make anti-children, anti-whatever, their entire personality. I understand where they're coming from in this day and age where everything's crazy expensive. There's more violence, supposedly it's gotten a lot lower with crime rate, but then you see people stealing and getting mugged and all that stuff and random beat downs and things. And I'm like, okay, you to believe. And, there's so much fear mongering. It just drives me insane. But you can't help but worry, especially for, you have loved ones out there in school and work and stuff. And then you yourself have to go to the grocery store. And then even I think in one of my local grocery stores, they have a warning for there was someone trying to break into the cars in the parking lot. That store's parking lot's not even that big. It's a tiny parking lot, but someone's still trying to break into the cars, and they're like from old people. It's like, geez, what? Oh, sorry to say, but what a loser. Okay, why would you steal from old people? That's so. But I get it. I get why, but it's still wrong. Don't freaking do that. That's messed up. What the hell would you do? Why? Stop it. Gosh, that's so messed up. And so a lot of fear mongering, it causes people from other countries to talk bad about the US. And, because I live here and you yourself know how it is in the US, but sometimes when people start trashing on your place of origin, you can't help but try to defend it. Like you have that brother that you pick on, and then that there's not too many great things, but then someone else swoops on in, tries to make fun of that brother, and you're like, hey, that's my brother. What the hell are you doing over there? Get out, It's kind of like that. It's like a weird love-hate relationship from where you're from, because that's all you know, right? I assume. Okay, so sorry, I like have several topics all at the same time. Blame the fact that I don't have a script on me. 36 minutes, that's pretty good. Also, I don't know what's up with that guy trying to ask me about. I mean, I am thankful that he likes my work and he guessed that I was 21. He's not correct though. I'll take it, but thanks anyway. Okay, so Tachibana, where is she? I think I did a screen cap of her. I also owe a drawing for another person, and I have to buy a gift for someone, and I have to buy gifts for my relatives. See, there's all this stuff going on I don't talk to people about. And then I'm like, I don't have that much going on until I start listing things. Like, oh wait, I have at least 10 things to do by the end of the week. Just 10. Oh my God. Okay, so let's get on with her eyes. Sheesh. Taking forever, lady. Okay, so this scene, she wanted to go to this local bargain shop, but it's far away from her home. And I think she wanted to go to this bargain shop so bad that she decided she wanted to learn how to drive, which mortified her entire family. And so I think one of them suggested, just take a taxi. You don't have to spend all that time and effort to just get a driver's license for this one shop. And so she's like, oh yeah, I could just take a damn taxi. So she does. And then when she's in the car and someone's driving her, she felt like kind of luxury, like, oh, this is a luxury to have someone drive for me. And then she saw someone just riding a bike, because she usually rides a bike to do her errands. She's like, yeah, I used to be like that. That was me yesterday, and this is me now. And then turns out she doesn't know how to give directions. So by the time she has to make a turn, she forgot to tell the driver. And this happens for like 43 minutes. And then she ended up spending way more money than she was supposed to than at the bargain shop. So yeah, that was one episode, and I thought that was kind of funny. But this was like her little what a scenario at being in a taxi that she just feels like a celebrity exiting out of a car. I was like, she's so cute. And that was so funny. But yeah, then it just that fantasy just blew away when she was stuck and having to shell out like maybe over 3,000 yen. Like, holy crap. She was not happy that day. So yeah, I definitely recommend watching this. But if you're like into shonen or like the action anime or the shoujo or the girly anime or the isekai or the horror or whatever, this might be a little boring for you. But because it takes place with families and everyday life, but it's a little cartoony, I like it. And it's short. I don't have to like wait for episodes and episodes. It's been around for some years already. And it's a nice little watch here and there. You don't have to be like, this is my identity now. I love this. I mean, you know what I'm talking about for those who watch anime. So anyway, what else is there? This whole time I haven't done so much because I'm yammering too much. I'm sorry. Ah, there's paint on her thing. Okay. So what else has been going on? What else has been going on? Speaking of 21, I'm trying to remember how I was like at 21. I can't remember. That's how long ago it's been. Holy crap. No, I did have some drawings. The other day, I was looking for paperwork and cleaning up, and then I found one of my old drawings. Maybe as a reel, I can show them. I already posted it on Instagram as a full-on video for like 6 minutes, but it's kind of boring. Plus, I only did one take, so there's a bunch of stuff I could have cut out. But the format in my phone, I can't do it, so I just left it as is. I can maybe do a real version of it and then post it on here. And you can kind of see what I dealt with back then. But I'm kind of hesitant because there was some cringe OC characters that I had, but I also had old college work was okay. It's nothing special, but I thought it was impressive for its time, and especially certain gouache projects. Only one gouache project I liked. The rest were kind of ew. I may do that later, but depends because yeah, it's like I mentioned, it's been kind of busy with some family related things lately, and I gotta take care of some stuff later in this week. I'm not looking forward to it, but I gotta. Is this no, I think some part was orange and gray, and I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember, and I have the reference in front of me, dork. So yeah, trying to remember. I don't know any older people. Are there any older people in here that try to remember? Like, give yourself a few decades back and try to remember that as far as you can. Like, you can remember certain key memories, like your childhood things. I can do that. Okay. I remember listening to Walkmans while riding my bike in the not neighborhood, but like around the block because I was kind of scared of rolling down the hill. I live on hills, and so I have this low-key fear of just losing control of the wheels, and I roll and end up in the hospital. I was a bit paranoid as a kid too, and not much has changed, but it kept me out of trouble most times. So yeah, as a 21-year-old, I was really interested into drawing back then. I also remember being kind of a tomboy, but not like, oh, I love sports, I like to hang out with the boys. By boys, I only mostly hung out with my brothers, because we were closest in age despite our age gaps, and we had more interests, like more so comic books, anime, not so much manga, surprisingly, because it was kind of expensive and they don't always come out as fast. Not like now where they're like turning them out like clockwork. Oh, back then it took I think several months sometimes. Like, what the hell? And so I think also they had like fans translated releases online. That was a lot more prominent back then. I had a friend who was super into that. Like, she would buy the raw Japanese manga, and because they're dirt cheap in Japantown, they're like $6 something, $4 to $6 something dollars. And then she would go back home, find that manga that's translated online, open it, and then read what's translated on from the translation site, and transfer that somehow into what she's reading in front of her, which I think was so unnecessary. Just read the freaking thing on the monitor. But I think she's trying to support the artist, the mangaka. So I get it, but I was like, okay, I guess. just some parts seemed a little unnecessary. I just read them straight from the translation site, and then I didn't have to worry too much. But recently I'm trying to support some of the manga if I can allow it to, but some of the ones I want to, they're old, like Claymore. I want to buy Claymore, but you have to buy the entire set online, and it's like maybe $200. Like, what? On eBay alone? Like, oh gosh. Monster, maybe. I want to, because it's a little slow anime wise, but I'm thinking I'm missing some things in the manga, so I might look into that. I tried reading it, but because I watched the manga, watched the anime, I'm sorry, I got tired, so that's a maybe. What else is there? I don't have that gray, and the orange, I don't know. It's a dingy orange because she's getting out of a taxi. Do I have said orange. No. Wow. Where is orange? There is a orange, but it'll have to do. Okay. 45 minutes. Woo. Okay. See, it doesn't look like I do much because in reality, 45 minutes to an hour for people who do art things, that's nothing. I think there was the one of the live streams I did with a group. I think we had 2 to 3 hours, and then even then we weren't done. But with me, I managed to get a lot done because I did the pencils, and I think I had some of the ink mostly done. But because I drew on the canvas, the sound of the pen grating on my canvas might have irritated one of the members, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, that's just what I do. I can't control it. I need to make some lines on here. But yeah, that it is what it is. But I think since that time doing a live stream with a group of people, I was more interested doing live streams because prior to this, I didn't want to do live streams. The idea of me actually doing this right now, I didn't like. Ask me 3 to 4 years ago, I'd probably laugh in your face, like, what? No, you know. I swear my personality is awful. And so I think what got me interested was, for starters, the algorithm on Instagram is awful. It's really bad now. I don't only certain things, like random things, garner attention, and that's not what I want to keep doing long term. I just do random things on my account once in a while because I need to not be monotonous too much. I get bored. And so once in a while I just throw in random things and those get super popular. But then when I revert back to my old stuff, my art stuff, especially with like the card art, I did a lot of cards, damn it. Very few people gave a shit. And so I was like, well, I still give a shit, so I don't mind. But I was like, geez, man, I can't win. And I worked really hard on those damn cards. So it was kind of a letdown, not super disappointing, but like, oh, you know, that sound you make when you're like disappointed. But I don't let it get to me that bad. But meanwhile, if you go on Threads, there's a lot of complaints about the algorithm on Instagram, the algorithm in general. And, you know, like they're trying to find other platforms to grow and branch out and to advertise their work so they can make a good buck. I get it. But at the same time, I don't know what they're doing online in the online nether regions to make this algorithm work against people. It's like, what are you doing? But they're doing something. And it's annoying. Okay, where's gray? Do I have a gray? I have a gray. I don't know if it'll work. Maybe. Yeah, I have these two. What I don't like about these tubes is sometimes the paint just wants to come out like poop, whether I like it or not. And then when I close it, I could paint like this. No. Loopy Wednesdays. Sometimes the paint makes it adhere to the cap and the tube, and I don't want to deal with that right now. But if it's right in front of me, I have no choice. I got to use it. Oh my God, she cracks me up. I kind of want to do a really fancy version of this. Like she's actually getting out of a little limousine and she's like being super flashy and classy and stuff. I don't know. She's just a simple housewife, but she has like this really big personality that, you know, you can't help but be drawn to. And she's kind of a, I think she can be relatable. Like I think initially, especially in by Western standards, she would be seen as kind of obnoxious. And she has her obnoxious moments, but she does have moments where she can be very endearing, very cute, and very funny. So I like that about this character. She seems like, oh, she might be kind of annoying. I don't want to talk because she has a big mouth. You can see how big her mouth is. But, you know, people actually like her. She has friends. She gets along with everyone. And then she also does her best at everything that she can do as a housewife, even though sometimes it may be a bit too much. But yeah, I like it. I don't know why I keep talking about Natasha. Okay, so I need to let some parts dry. No, wait, no, it's a little darker. Okay. Okay. All right, there's some progress there. Very cute. Now you, Miss Lady Ma'am. God. Oh man, I gotta do a Black Myth Wukong card. But if you see, like, should I do his chapter 6 armor, or should I just do the? A lot of his armor is pretty badass. Like, I like the one with, he has the pig one. There's also the one with he turns into the Yaksha guy. Yeah, that one's pretty badass. The one where it covers half of his face, that one's pretty cool. He has a lot of cool looking armor, so I'm like, I don't know which one to make. Indecisive. Okay. The thing is, the lighting is going to trouble me. Well, I don't have to make it super accurate. Okay. Anything for me to do that lighting, that, glowing lights effect, I have to use water, and I'm kind of trying to avoid that just because trying to make the illusion of lights and watercolor is always a challenge for me, but I do try to do what I can. Sometimes it works. Most times I gotta cover it up. Okay, so ears. What else can I talk about? I'm trying to think. All right. What did I do at age 21? I don't remember a lot. I remember going to school, hanging out with old classmates that used to go to my high school. A whole bunch of us went there. Incriminating stories. Do I have any of those? Nah, I don't feel like it. I don't like talking bad about other people if I can help it. Maybe for the sake of warning others to watch out for such people, or someone or who happens to be that person, like, just be careful. But other than that, I try my best not to talk bad about others. I don't want people talking bad about me. So I wouldn't want people, I don't want to talk bad about other people. I feel like people should have that incentive, but I think I was just telling a friend earlier, like, because it's attention grabbing, it triggers the algorithm in its favor. People keep throwing out dirty laundry about their lives. Like, you really don't have to. You're not being forced to give that information out. But if they really want that attention, and the only way they can think of is, talking trash about other people, talking about, like, really negative things that people agree with, and then it garners attention, they'll do it. I've seen it. It's successful, but it's also kind of grating and annoying, but you can't really do much about it because that's what they want. Sensationalized negative news, it's very, very lucrative. It's very popular. And it's also very fleeting because there's always the next best thing. Like I mentioned before, like what happened with, that Sean Combs, Diddy. You don't hear about him as much after that guy with the eyebrows that shot that CEO a while in December. He's still in the forefront right now. I saw him in several magazines at the bookstore the other day. I was like, what the heck? Why? And then now they're saying, like, oh, that's not the guy. I was like, well, who is the guy then? Jeez. But because he's so hot, we can't help but keep staring at him. I was like, what is this news? Why is it so stupid? Focusing on stupid crap. My God, I'm tired. Okay, I'm not the brightest crayon in the box. I don't have to talk about politics and the economy and social and economic issues. But my God, sensationalize a lot of things out there nowadays. I just want to bash my head on the wall. I'm tired. Okay. That's why I don't like watching a lot of those updates about sensationalized news. It drives me insane. I know there's a kind of lesson to all of it, if not some of it, but at the same time, it's like I'm tired. I'm really tired. And that's another 40-year-old joke that they always bring up. I'm tired all the time. Yeah, but what if you've been like that since your 30s? It's nothing special. Why does your tired have to make, why does that have to be, but then they also mention that after 40, things just are starting to stop working properly, and that's a new thing for you now, and they don't give a crap about your health. Just you're that's your life now. Like, why does it hurt in my arm? That's it. That's you now. Deal with it. Like, that's it. It's like, oh, okay, I guess. Jeez. And then you're just supposed to suck it up and deal with it. So I was like, oh, okay, good. Thanks for letting me know. So yeah, that 40-something year old stuff. Yep. Oh, sorry, my friends are sending me things. And by things, I mean reels, okay? Calm down. So, what else was I talking about? Oh no, this pen's starting to get wonky again. I mean, it's doing its best. It's doing its best. Don't clown on it too hard. It's doing its best. So while the lines are not as prominent as this one, you can kind of tell that it does capture a lot more finer details, which I do like. So I may actually not use the micron pens too much, and then try to use more of the ballpoint pens. The problem is I kind of spread out my ballpoint pens a bit more than I thought, so I gotta look for it. I do have micron or fine liner pens for her details. Let me see here. Let me close all of that. Like, she has details. Yeah, there you go. Like, yeah, like all that stuff, and she has like freckles on her. It was a weird design, but if I want to adhere to the original, I gotta, Oh, also, I want to draw this guy. He cracks me up. I never played a game with him, but I don't know. I just think he's funny. Okay, so what else am I? Okay, so I still have to draw her crusty, dusty hands. I got it. 57 minutes. Okay, I need to wrap things up, and then I need to start cleaning. I don't wanna. Someone clean for me. Can I pay you in cheese? The answer is no. Can I pay you in natto? Probably not. Okay. Yeah, there's so many detail thingies in here, and then I have to let it set for a bit. So sometimes certain pens, if you put your arm, you put, you when you draw, you naturally rub off onto the surface. Sometimes if you don't wait, your pen, your line art smudges. Drives me insane. So hopefully I can figure something out once I get most of the general lines down, and then add some details. I think thankfully this one's not too much, so it's not too bad. I want to draw the Destin one, but I'm a little hesitant because, especially his final armor, it's super intimidating. And there's already people who did it, so I'm like, well, I'm nothing special. What can I contribute? But I really do like the art, so I might have to do something. And I want to also draw the giant bear, Jubaja, obviously. And I also want to draw a cute, chubby version of him. Oh my god. I have to draw him as a cute, chubby Zashiki Buddha version because that's my life's calling right now, apparently. What else is there? The Spider Sisters, Four Sisters, maybe, but I'm like, it just looks like she's crying or she's going through a midlife crisis. It's a maybe, though. I don't know. Then there is, what else is there? That cornball, the cornball classic right here. Arlong Shun. Maybe. I might do more. The cornball classics. What the fuck? I'm stupid. Okay. Who else can I draw? I'm trying to think. The bear guy. The Mad Tiger, maybe, because lately my family likes Mad Tiger, even though the editor gets clobbered a lot by said tiger. But my son loves him. I don't know why. I think because he's weird looking. He looks like if a tiger and a fat rat came together and made a baby. It's like, ugh, what is that? I also want to draw a naked mole rat for some reason. Maybe, yeah. What else is there? Maybe the yellow long. I don't know. I might do a derp version of him because I also hated fighting that guy. He was so irritating. Pissed me off. Also, that giant monk guy with the tail and the spikes coming out of his face. I may draw him too. He wasn't that annoying, but he's kind of funny. Let's see. Where did I put this? And then this whole duration, I'm trying to remember, what did I do at 21? I had short hair. I remember now. I had short hair. I had an odd hairstyle. It looks similar to Wolverine from X-Men. Yeah. If whoever knew me that far back knew that hairstyle, you know what I'm talking about. Oh my God. For a time, it was I thought it was a good idea, and now I don't know. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, oh my God, what's wrong with me? Why did I do that? Thankfully, that phase has ended. Plus, I noticed sometimes some of the Karen haircuts, it's somewhat similar to how I cut my hair. So I was like, oh my God, thank God I stopped and I grew out my hair. I still like short hair though, but because my neck is a little short, I can't do that anymore. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, there's something going on. This is good. Do I have oh God, it's all the way buried here. I also was supposed to do like some gray undertones, but I don't feel like it. The perks of being low-key lazy with the card art, you don't have to adhere to all of the technical details. You really don't. Oh no, these are pencils. Sorry. I also need to try to use colored pencils more. I saw some old colored pencil work that I did. I kind of like them, but they take too long. I don't have that kind of time. That's why I stopped doing them too much. So, let's see, what the hell color is that? I don't know. What is that color? I'm gonna think it's this. Maybe. If I'm wrong, oh well. So the good side about this card art, I mentioned before, but if you're tuning in just now and you're like, what about it? I can get away with leaving a whole bunch of mistakes and making it rough. I do like the rough look more. I just like having human elements. I feel like people don't like humans, but there are some good qualities about humans, but people don't seem to want to remember that, or they choose not to. I could do a pencil, or I could just try it right now. Okay, so what am I doing? Okay, I think this will work. And I messed up. I think I was supposed to make the eyelids a little bigger, but I did not. Or I painted over it, and that's my fault. Oh, well. Okay, so I'm not going to count all of the dots on her face, but I'm just going to do a little dab here and there. I don't understand why they put that. I just thought that was weird, but I guess. Sure, why not? I also want to draw the original, like one of the concept art they have of her. I like that one more, but she looks like a really more heavy set woman. But I like the art style to some degree. I mean, I could keep the elements of her looking like that and then the elements of her concept art, kind of put them together and see what comes out of it. I am curious how that would turn out. So yeah, geeking out with art stuff is annoying. Oh no, my tummy's rumbling. I'm trying to not overeat because Western diet here especially can do that. But sometimes when you try to improve, your body's like, stop it, give me food. I want to live. And then you're like, no, I'm not supposed to live like that. Don't worry, I don't talk to my tummy during in public. I don't, I swear. So but then sometimes if you try to be healthy and then others that know you, like, why are you trying to be healthy? You think you're better than us, you know? The fuck? Am I doing it wrong? I might be off. Oh no, it might be off. So the downside is that you might mess up. That's why you need a pencil to do this crap. But I messed up. Well, I can cover it with paint a little bit, but I can't do too much because apparently I did her forehead too small. Whoops. 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 But again, because I can get away with rough stuff on here, it's not too much of a big deal. Like, oh my god, I ruined it, throw it out. Throw it out. Are there people who actually throw out their art when they don't like a tiny little mistake? I wonder if that is a thing. I am curious, but not enough to be like finding out about this person. They actually throw out like an amazing piece of art because a tiny freckle is out of place and they throw it in the trash. Oh my god. Don't let me meet you in a back alley doing that stuff, okay? Don't do that. Okay, there's that. I know it's supposed to be lighter, but I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I need to know where things are anyway. It's all right. It's a little lopsided. Yeah, this one's off. I can try to fix it later with paint, or I could fix it now. Let's find out. Because when I'm looking on here sometimes on the screen, and then I look on here, and then I'm looking. Oh my god, there's two dots on there too. Okay, okay, good to know. Good to know. So I need to fix tiny bit. It's already wrong, but I also need to at least make it a little less lopsided. Kind of. Let's see. I'm looking at that chat right now. There's nobody here, so I can make comments. Is that a guy in a hot tub? I'm looking at the icon right there. I'm not shaming, like, hey, hot tubs are nice. I was like, oh, okay. I can't tell the thing is so tiny, so I can't see very well. That was an interesting exchange. I don't know if YouTube will show that after. I'll leave it there. I try to be civil, but if you're starting to ask inappropriate things, I'm gonna have to disengage. I'm sorry to say. Okay. I want to say family friendly, even though I say this is not for children, but I say that because I curse. I say bad words, and my kid's not here. Okay, so yeah. Okay, it's still lopsided. Wah. Wah, wah, wah. I am complaining. Yeah. Even on here, it's like it's going to at a slant. I'm like, oh no. 1 hour. Oh yeah, see, it's already over an hour. I need to wrap things up, but I don't want to clean up. You should be cleaning up, and I don't want to. Or I could just paint over this entirely and start all over. That is also an option. Because it's not looking so hot. Sometimes when I look at very popular streams, like there's not like 5,000, 10,000K people are on the stream and they're all talking all at once. I'm talking about people who even only have like 5 people. That's a lot for me. Okay. Once, if you see my live streams long enough, it's just like one person or they say hi, then they, do their own thing. But like, even 5 people is a lot for me. And if they're all talking at the same time, I'd be like already overwhelmed. So I'm like, oh, yay, there's people, and there's only 5 people. I would be a very, very, very appreciative. That's why I'm not really, while I don't mind a little bit more people, I also don't want too many people. I think because I've not been around a lot of people, a whole influx of people just rushing in, trying to go on here and talk. The idea makes me laugh because I don't think that'll happen. Unless I do maybe a gaming live stream. No, I did once and I didn't like it. So, and a few people came in and out, but because other people are more interesting when they do live streams than me, they go to them more. And then me, I don't make a lot of witty commentary. I eventually have to be quiet so I can fight properly. I don't like saying things for the sake of making noise, not being quiet in a live stream setting. I don't like doing that. So I'm probably boring by gaming standards, and I don't mind. I accept it. But once in a while, I do have little quips here and there, but they're very fleeting. They're spread out in my gaming videos, so I have to comb through all of them to look for the ones I think are pretty funny. But because I think it's funny, there's no guarantee normal people think it's funny. But if I like it enough to make a short, then I will do it. But I haven't been doing that lately because recent uploads, I'm just trying to get to a point and then get on with the game. I'm not really trying to make commentary at this point, just because I already did this part. There is the option of doing entirely new game. I don't know any other game as good as Black Myth Wukong or any games I'm really interested at the moment. I was suggested by a few friends to do certain games like horror games. A lot of girls are doing that too, and they're like, I'm scared. No. I can't be cute when I'm scared, okay? Because I scream like a man when I'm scared. Or like, that's me. It's there's nothing cute, and I want to protect her. It's like, where's that sound coming from? That's me. Okay. So I don't want to do horror games. Also, I don't want high blood pressure at my age. Oh my God. Or I have a tummy ache if I'm under that much stress. I can be like that. I don't think in a horror setting, but I don't want to test the waters in that department. RPGs are a maybe. Fighting games are a maybe, but I'm not very good at combos. I just mash buttons. That's how I play games. I mash buttons like this. But I do like doing the what I used to like doing with Soul Calibur when you have the character you create your own character. Those were kind of fun. And then I just remembered when I used to babysit my nephew and niece, we would try to make characters and we make the weirdest characters, and they're like super flamboyant and super weird outfits, weird hair. They have like a chipmunk voice, and they're like this big beefy dude with a giant sword, and he has like a tiny itty bitty girly voice. I was like, what? And we weren't even fight most of the time. We were just too busy laughing at our stupid creations. A favorite pastime. So I kind of like character designing. That's why I like with what was it? Sims. I used to like The Sims a lot. I played from 2, 3, and 4. And then I just got tired. What I used to do was play as real people that I knew. And then I would set them up together and I make them make out and have babies. No matter the gender, I don't care. I just go have babies. And then I would just sit there and laugh. And then I would have them have like cat fights, they'll have like a slap fest and it's all smacking each other. It was, I don't know. I was a really bored kid. And then I like the one when they have the pets. That might have been Sims 2 or no, I think it was Sims 2. And then they had like a pet feature. I think you had to like buy a separate gaming pack to install to Sims 2. And then I made my dog, his name was Showpow, and I made him have a full-time job, and he was promoted to have like a a commercial or movie career, and he earned more money than the human Sims, which I thought was hilarious. Low-key embarrassing, but downright awesome. Like, if you have a pet that's making more money than you don't have to do anything. You just sit around in your big ass pool and your fancy hotel, like mansion. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I had a fun time doing that. But I think I stopped because you have to make a lot of things, and I get tired after a while. I think I was more motivated when I was younger, whereas now I'm like, I still gotta build a house after making the character. And then the expansion packs, like with different worlds. I think there was like a Harry Potter one from what I remember. There's more with animals, not just dogs and cats, but also like farm life. There's a cabin series, a horror series. There's a whole bunch of expansion packs I thought were kind of interesting. But yeah, I just grew out of it at some point. Yeah, I was more into fighting games. I really like Street Fighter. But then I think around Street Fighter 3, I started getting lazy. I do like Marvel versus Capcom, though. And I do miss things like Rival Schools. Oh my god. But I never played the second one for some reason. There was also... I like Mega Man, but only Mega Man 3 and then the X series, because they had Zero with a sword. And even though Mega Man was more far range with his, like, Buster gun thingy, I don't know what that's called. I like the sword more. I don't know. Okay, I need to wrap things up now. It's already 1 hour and there's nobody here or asking me personal questions for whatever reason. So I'm going to wrap things up. What did I do? I ranted a little bit about 40-year-old content because I watched it longer than I should, and then a whole bunch of them started flooding in, and I had to watch one after another and get annoyed. And I was ranting about that. Things going on here. I kept it vague, but it's been a little busy. So yeah. Some other things. Oh, right. I forgot. Okay. I shown in my, sorry, it's an hour, then you get to see. I found old things, and I found old needle felted dolls I made, and I need to make another one. This is hella cute. I like this one. But it's a little skinny from this angle, so I kind of want to chunk him up a little bit. But right now, I love this size. I love this shape. This is freaking adorable. I think this might be Mr. Bear's dream, but like a pale version. I want to make more. This is hella cute. I like this one. Oh. And then this is a resurfaced project I made on here. It's one of my first tutorials. I hate it. But I don't think I didn't do the entire thing from scratch. I think I was just putting on the vest from what I can remember, I think. And at the time I thought this was really cool, but now that I look at it, I think he's supposed to be a little bit more chubby. I think this is thin by Tuxedo Sam standards. That's his name. But I do like the pink. I do like the cherry blossom. I kind of wish I stuck with more of a foam clay. This looks a little bit more clunky, but maybe in the future if I feel like it. The hat is just okay, but I do like this overall idea and the color. Very, very cute. I also, the first, after Zashiki Buddha, I also like Tuxedo Sam, so he's going to be around a lot too. And this was based off one of like a French collab series where they're at a diner, and yeah, I went a bit much with the embellishments, but this was freaking cute. I do wish though that I use a fabric rather than using straight up felting. What was that? Felting felt sheets, because it makes this really chunky, especially if they're like this round balls onigiri size. But I do like the look. It's supposed to be like that 50s cafe diner sort of waiter guy. Yeah. And I actually tried to write on this dang thing. It's polymer clay, and I had to sew on. Yeah. When I started making things with clothes, I had to do everything by hand. And I like the little wings though. Wingies. Okay. Then what else? This I kind of don't like because I made the scarf kind of half-assed. Like this one, there's some stitches, and then you know what? I was like, screw it. I didn't feel like it. But I like this fabric, but I just wish that I I could continue it, but I don't feel like it. Plus, I have to find this exact color of this freaking embroidery floss. I don't know where I put it. I do like this cute little candy bag, though. Not bad, but this scarf is kind of the bane of my existence. Other than that, I do like this look. Very cute. It's a little lopsided because this tail, it's supposed to be all nice and fluffy, but it's needle felting after a while. They get dense and hard, and so it's a bit lopsided when you sit him properly. Unless you hold it in your hand like so, then it's okay. But other than that, yeah, it's a little lopsided. I kind of, at the time it was cute, but now that I'm looking, I was like, oh, I was not paying attention to certain areas. Sorry. Well, this is intentional to be on the side, but the ears I think are a little weird. And this tail kind of makes him off balance. I think it's a boy. I even forgot the gender. I'm sorry. Other ones. So I did, like I said, Zashiki Buddha. Oh my God, this is so cute. And one of the challenges is to making it the same size, which I think I use snowballs, the fake snowballs that they advertise. Oh, you can throw it at your siblings because they suck. Yeah. I use the fake snowballs and make them into these as the stuffing, and then I put the needle felted wool, the felting wool on top, and making little ball. Oh my God, this is still cute, but I just wish I used regular fabric than this because it makes things way too chunky than it should. Otherwise, this is a really cute style. Very, very cute. And yeah, more details. Okay, sorry. Don't let me play with dolls. I don't make sense. And then last but not least, this one is probably my favorite. One of the arms are a little stiff. It's this one. This one. Is it? Can you see? Okay. I found this again. All of these were found when I was cleaning yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is super nostalgic." And this is the one where I actually, why is there hair here? Used legit fabric, which I think gives it more character and more detail to the design. And yeah, I like this a lot, but I don't like what I did here. I probably should have used a regular, thicker, maybe linen type fabric. I just used felt sheets and it looks cheap. If everything was all fabric or everything was all sheets, felt sheets, it would be a lot better, I think, in terms of it being consistent. But because it's very clear what is a felt sheet, what is fabric, I think it might be a bit too ew. And then this one you can remove, which I do like, but I'm not going to remove it because this one, the felt sheets, if you keep tugging at it a while, they kind of disintegrate. They pull apart. It's annoying. I do like this overall look. I think my original plan was to give her rollerblades, but I didn't have enough time and I was getting tired. This took a lot of work out of me, but overall I do like this look. She originally has like a little tray with little treats on top, but I misplaced it somewhere. She can have a cute bag though. Oh, it's too big. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to show a little bit, but I almost forgot. Then I briefly remember, like, why do I have these needle felted things? Like, oh shoot, I forgot. So yeah, it went a bit long. That's fine. I can live with that. So that'll be it for now. I also did these and it was very little because I was yammering on a lot. But yeah, definitely if you want to try needle felted dolls, it's going to take a while before you get to this stage, but there are people way better than me that make realistic animals like cats, dogs, hamsters, this and that. To some degree, people, I guess, but this is the best I can do, guys. Is it okay? Okay, so I'm going to leave now before someone comes on in. Thank you for having me. I'll see you again sometime next week. I'll let you know in the community tabs, but thank you for watching this if you do during or after this is live. This is Deleon getting on out, probably getting lunch or cleaning up because I don't want to, but I have to, and I'll see you again next week. Until further notice. Okay. Take care now. Bye-bye.